So this was a weekly homework exercise related to electrolysis and chemical cell. So the first one, which reaction could take place at anode? Anode means the positive terminal. So positive terminal always attract the negative ions, which can attract hydroxide and chloride ion. So only 1 and 2 can occur at anode during electrolysis. So when we have anode and cathode, anode always attract the negative ion. The diagram shows a simple cell. As you can see, this is a simple cell. Which statement about the process occurring in the cell operation is correct? Copper ions are formed because it is zinc is more reactive. So zinc atom change to zinc ion and the electron travel from zinc electrode to the copper electrode. So A cannot be electron travel through the solution, electron cannot move through the solution. Basically, zinc atom changes into zinc ion, that's true. And the size of the zinc electrode, it won't increase, it will decrease because the zinc atoms are changing into zinc ion. So what we'll observe the size will decrease. The diagram shows the electrolysis of molten zinc chloride. So when we have a molten compound, it means it does not have any water molecule. So the ions which are present here, it contains zinc ion, chloride ion only. So zinc attracted towards electrode Y. So zinc ions are there, they're attracted towards electrode Y and turn into zinc atom, which will stick. And chloride ion attracted towards electrode X. So chloride ion will lose one electron, turn into a chlorine atom. When two chloride ions are there, they will lose two electrons and form chlorine molecule. So we can also write this equation that two chloride ion turn into chlorine molecule by loss of two electron. And whenever there is a loss of electron, we call that as oxidation. And when there is a gain of electron, we call that as reduction. So what happened? Oxidation occur at electrode X. So yes, oxidation, which is a loss of electron, it happened at electrode X. And the equation for this electrode will be that chloride ion form chlorine molecule and lose two electrons. So that's why A will be the right answer. Is it clear, this question? That why A is the right answer? The next one diagram shows a method used to copper plate a pan. So which equation represent the equation at cathode? So what happened here? Copper ions are there, sulfate ions are there, hydrogen ion and hydroxide. Copper is less reactive, it will move towards the pan. So it will, copper ions, they will gain two electrons, turn into a copper atom which stick to the pan. And copper atoms from anode will turn into a copper ion. So we have to write equation for cathode, means copper ion gain electron and it turn into copper atoms. The diagram shows a simple cell. Which pair of a metal produce the largest voltage? So we have to check the reactivity. We have potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper, mercury, silver. So when we check metal, iron and copper, magnesium and copper, magnesium and zinc and copper. So magnesium and copper is having the greater difference in the reactivity compared to others. So that's why B will be the right answer. The diagram shows a simple cell. Which pair show the movement? Always electron move from more reactive to the less reactive. So the movement is made from metal X to metal Y. So metal X should be more reactive. So when we check the reactivity, zinc is more reactive than iron. So metal X should be zinc and metal Y should be iron. So electron can travel from more reactive to less reactive. Which statement about electrolysis is correct? Electron move through the electrolyte. Electron does not move through the electrolyte. That's totally wrong. Electron move towards the cathode in the external circuit. That's true, because like if this is a battery, the external circuit, the wire and all, so electron move from the negative terminal of the battery towards the cathode. This is what happened. So that's why B is the right answer. The ions does not move in the external circuit. That's wrong. And positive ion does not move towards the anode. They are moving towards cathode. The reactivity series for a number of different metals is shown. Which pair? Highest voltage, which is having a greater difference in the reactivity. So when we have most reactive magnesium and the less reactive platinum, it will produce the highest voltage. That's why B is the right answer for this. Which apparatus could be used for electroplating an iron nail? So when we are using an electroplating, the anode should be made up of the metal, which we want the layer. The cathode is the object, and the electrolyte should be a so the electrolyte which we use, that should be a salt solution of the metal. So because we want iron nail is the object, copper is the layer which we want. So that's why in this case A will be the right answer. The diagram shows a simple cell. Which two metal produce the highest voltage? The one which is having a greater difference. So when we write the reactivity series, it is potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper, mercury, silver. So if you use magnesium and copper, magnesium and iron, zinc and copper, and zinc and iron. So the highest, the greater difference is magnesium and copper. That's why A will be the right answer. Which statement about electrolysis of concentrated copper to chloride is correct? So when we are doing the electrolysis of copper to chloride, the concentrated solution, so we have the electrodes made up of graphite or platinum. It, it's a copper 2 chloride solution. So copper ion is there, chloride ion, hydrogen ion, and hydroxide ion. And it is a concentrated, so more salt, and it will have less water. So for positive, first the negative terminal of the battery, the electrons will come out. So majority of the electron will be there at cathode, and they will attract the positive ions, but the less reactive positive ion will discharge. So copper ions are there. They will take 2 electron and turn into a copper atom, so they will stick to the cathode. What happened at anode? Anode will attract, for negative ion we always check the amount because chloride ions are more, so chloride ions will move there. When 2 chloride ion will move there, they will lose 2 electron and form chlorine gas, so we'll see bubbles. So which statement are correct for question 11? Electrons transfer from cathode to copper ion. Yeah, that's true, because cathode and copper ions are being transferred, the electrons, so that's true. Electron move round the external circuit from cathode to anode. They're not moving from cathode to anode. They're moving towards cathode, and they're coming towards, from anode, they're coming towards the positive terminal. So that's wrong. Chloride ions are attracted. That's true. Hydroxide ions, they do not transfer. It's not discharged. So statement 1 and 3 are the right answer. Which combination of the metal produce the highest voltage? Again, we have to write the reactivity. So for iron and copper, zinc and copper does not produce, and magnesium and copper, they will have the greatest difference. That's why D will be the right answer. Aqueous copper 2 sulfate using the carbon electrode. What is the product? So if you use the carbon electrodes, for copper sulfate, copper ions are there, sulfate ion, hydrogen ion, and hydroxide ion. So copper ions are attracted towards the cathode, so it will form a copper metal. The product at cathode will be the copper metal, and sulfate, nitrate, and carbonate does not move, so hydroxide will move, and whenever hydroxide will move, it will give oxygen. So product at the negative electrode will be copper, and the positive electrode will be oxygen. The diagram shows a circuit of electrolysis. The copper ions are positive, so they will attract towards the movement of electron. Electron are coming out from a negative terminal towards the cathode, and electron move out from anode towards the positive terminal. So copper ions are positive ions, so they are attracted towards the cathode. So 2 is representing the movement of the copper ion, and the movement of electron, the 3 is representing the movement of electron. So C will be the right answer. So copper 2 chloride is electrolyte using copper electrode. So if you use copper electrode, because the copper ions in the solution move towards the cathode, so it will stick, and size of cathode negative terminal increase. And to overcome this, copper atom will turn into a copper ion. So size of the positive terminal will decrease. So positive electrode size will decrease, and the negative one, the size will increase. So B will be the right answer. And the last question, which is about electrolysis of the copper. So copper 2 sulfate can be either using a carbon. So which statement describe what happened? Positive electrode. So as positive electrode, if we are using if we are using carbon electrode, then oxygen is produced. So oxygen gas is produced if electrode is made up of carbon. That's why C is the right answer. So this was a weekly homework exercise related to electrolysis and chemical cell.